Special Service District Board meeting, February 12th, 2024. We'll start with the pledge by Dale and invocation by James, if that's all right.
Right. We stand. Be with me the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Heavenly Father, we come together as this group, the governing board in West Haven, and we thank you for the many blessings and the many things you've helped the city with to become a very beneficial place for to raise families and to call home. We appreciate all the many protections you offer us in these trying times. Please bless us with the intelligence and the insight to be able to govern this city and to be able to look out for his citizens. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right, thanks so much. All righty, public presentations. Anybody have anything here for today? You're here for the audit, right? Or the audit review? What are we doing? Oh, hi. I'm sorry. I the only time I've seen you is the back of your head at the dinner.
Yeah, no problem.
You want to introduce yourself to us?
Oh, sure.
Would you mind?
Oh, I'd be happy.
So I don't know if this is the right spot for it or not, but we'll just throw it in here.
It is now.
Maybe the staff report, huh? But this okay.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. There we go. My name's Sean Warnke, and I came most recently from Tremont City. And the city didn't have any lift stations, which I guess you deal a lot with. But we had a sewer collection system and a wastewater treatment plant. So at any rate, I'm happy to be here. Everyone's been very welcoming, and I'm looking forward to working with you as I can. So,
Well, awesome.
So thanks for your service.
Yeah. Well, and thank you for being here. I apologize.
No problem.
I did. I saw the back of your head when you stood up in the meeting there, and I had to leave a little early, so I didn't see everybody at the end. So,
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, staff report. John? Sorry.
Presentation.
Yeah.
You skipped number
Oh.
4.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Amy, hi. So we're on item 4, our audit review. So, oh, there's Heather. Okay, awesome. I didn't see her on my screen. Okay, Heather, I guess it's turned over to you.
Oh, that was quick. Thanks. Thank you for letting me join by Zoom. First of all, that's very helpful during tax season for us, so I appreciate that. Amy's on here as well. She's obviously very involved in everything that we do as part of the audit from your end of things, from the management end of things. Again, my name is Heather Christofferson. I am the independent auditor for the district. And so we work pretty closely with your staff and then Child Richards to get this all completed. So this is for the June 30, 2023 year end. And then my understanding is that you've got a copy of the financial statements. I don't know if you want me to share my screen while I'm going through it. What would be more helpful?
Yeah, if you'd share your screen, that'd be great.
Okay. Just need to get permissions. There we go. I got permissions now. Okay. Okay. This is the financial statement report that you should have in front of you. First page that I would like to briefly go over here is our audit letter. It says in that second paragraph that in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects. So that's basically a clean opinion for the June 30, 2023 year. This is the most important page of the report. It's what you pay for. And that's always the first thing that I point out when I'm doing a presentation. As we go through the report itself, The next section is really pretty important. If you're going to read anything within the financial statements, you're going to want to read the next few pages. It is the management summary of what happened. It's very condensed and user-friendly. If you're going to read anything, I'm not going to read it tonight, but I do recommend that you read those few pages as they're contained there. Moving on to the report, page 6. This is the statement of net position for the district. This is basically as if it was reported as a business. Items of note is there's quite a bit of cash that you've got on hand, $11 million. And when compared to what is due or the liabilities related to it, you're looking at total liabilities of 1.6 million. So very healthy short-term cash position that you've got going right there. You'll also notice non-current assets, which are mainly your depreciable capital assets. It's all your infrastructure, those items there. Do we have any questions on this page?
Nope.
Nope, doesn't look
I
like.
take that as a no.
Yep. Go ahead and continue.
Okay, continuing on. All right, so this is basically your income statement for the district, showing operating revenues for the year, operating expenses for the year, so that your net income before any non-operating items is actually $481,000. Then you've got your impact fees and interest income on your cash that you're holding, with a net change in position of 3.4 million there, really close to the bottom there, the third line up. You can see that there's a net position restated. I believe that is in relation to a new standard that was implemented this year related to software and how it's reported if it's a long-term agreement, that kind of thing. It's not a major restatement. It's just correcting for the new standards that are in place. Okay, we've got the statement of cash flows, nothing very exciting here. And then beyond that is going to be the notes to the financial statements. Again, nothing terribly exciting. Let me just get to the detail on long-term debt. This usually is a little bit more helpful than looking at the front end of the financial statements. It just shows you what outstanding debt you've got for the district, how much you've paid off, and then what is going to be in a current position, meaning you're going to have to pay it within the next year. That's usually more interesting than looking at the front of the financial statements. One thing that you'll note in here as you look through the financial statements, usually at the end, there's a section for state compliance findings. There are no state compliance findings for this year. So that's a very good thing. And you'll note here on this page 22, that subscription-based information technology arrangements. That's a software that I was speaking about before and how that's being reported for GASB 96 and then going forward. Amy, did you have anything else that you might want to add?
What is that restated net position? What does that represent? That's where we're at as far as like a fund balance or the related net position, or?
Yeah, that section of the note is just saying where we started with, and then the net impact of the restatement is actually only the $14,000 less than $9,300. Okay. So the restated net position is actually a really small dollar amount. That's just an effort to show what was reported last year and this year how we changed that restated amount. So it's actually very minor.
Okay.
And it wasn't a mistake, it was just a new standard. And it looks like Amy's trying to talk, but it's not coming through.
It's like you have a couple devices here, maybe a phone or something. Oh, there you go. We can hear you.
Hear me now?
Barely.
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 Yeah, there we go.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I tried to join this a little bit earlier. Sorry about that, Heather. You're doing a great job. But yeah, you explained that exactly correct. That this new standard required us to restate since these agreements were in effect before 2023. So, as she said, it wasn't that large of a change. But if you wanted to go back to the income statement, okay, I'll just point out a couple of major increases from the prior year. We don't have the prior year presented, but you just might want to be aware that sewer treatment costs actually increased about $173,000 over the prior year. That was kind of a significant increase. Let's see, in the West Haven services, you're probably aware since we work through the budget on this every year, but that increased $88,000. And then one other large item was in bad debt expense. You had about $65,000 increase there. And as you know, that's been an effort to kind of clean up the accounts, which Sharice has done a good job taking care of those. So I just thought I'd highlight a couple of those significant changes in expenses for the board.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, we have a question here. Amy.
Sharice, is the 173,000, is that connected to Central Weaver increases, or where's the increase from?
Yeah, it's Central Weaver. So their treatment fees increased, so that's what they have increased it by.
Is that part of the 12% that they added to it? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't got anything from them for this year, so I'm not sure when they increased the 12%. Was it for 2023?
I think it was almost a 16% increase last year from 2022 to 2023.
There's another one coming too.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
They usually send out a letter
Coming.
before we start doing our budget and kind of give us a heads up on how much
So,
is going up.
Yeah, thanks, Amy, for that, because I think, that sounds
Okay.
right. It was probably 16 last year, probably 12% this year. So as a board, we should look at that and see, as we're looking at our budgets, what we want to do with that. I had just another question also, was unassigned fund balance. What do we have in that? Again, was that the 11 million? How much did we have in that account?
Looks like 10.8 million as of June 30th. So
That's in unrestricted.
Yeah.
so that's unreserved right there.
Yeah.
That 10.8 million. You've only got 922. I think it's bond reserves.
Sean, do you have a copy? You have an electronic copy of this, don't you? It's in the packet. I sent it to you. It was separate? Yes. Okay. Yeah, we probably should talk about that a little bit more too, on some of the things that we need, when we're talking about capital projects for even this district, because if we've got some funding in there, we may want to just look at some of those some of those dollars that are sitting out there. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money sitting there that we could possibly be using if we need it.
Right.
But anyway, I just thought I'd share that. I don't know if that's going to be helpful. And don't spend it all at once. That wasn't the point.
Yeah.
John got a big smile on his face.
2,700.
Eyeballs,
2,700.
Hey.
Got some plans, but they're needed.
We woke him
Yeah.
up.
Okay. Perfect. That's all I had.
Good cushion to have. Thanks, Mayor.
Yeah. Anything else there, Amy or Heather?
I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good job.
I don't have anything else either, but thank you, Heather. You did a great job
Thank you, Yusel.
taking care of us this year.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, John.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
see ya. Hey, staff report. Sorry
So
about that.
we don't have a whole lot this time, so it'll be short, but just maybe a couple updates. The 4700 project is finally done. There's just a couple of things on the fence, but we can get that hopefully closed out. We should get the final bill this week, so we can get that one out of there. And a couple of projects that we've just started up was the Poulter line, the upsizing that line that went from a 12 to the 8. They are getting ready to start that. I thought they said this week. They went over and got the gate and everything out of the way, so I suspect we'll we'll see them over there this week getting that one going. Same with the raising the manholes and stuff over by the 2700 that backed up. You may have seen them, they're over there working now, so they started that last Thursday. And maybe get close to finish it next week, so it'll be good to get that project done before they fill that canal up.
Yeah.
I mentioned we got the new truck last time, I think. It was somewhere in there, so that's supposed to get in. They're supposed to let me know when they get the decals for it. They're ordered. She said they'd let me know when they come in so we can get the stickers and everything put on that vehicle. Not that I don't mind driving around incognito sometimes, but no. And then as far as budgeting, we're working on putting together our budget. The staff has been coming up with some things that we need to be doing, some stuff that we'll get on there, and some of it we'll keep on there, some of it we won't, but the stuff that we need to have on there, we'll leave on there. One of the things that I am going to be looking at is the 2700 lift station, and that will be a pretty expensive rebuild over on that site, but that has been, from day one, that's our biggest maintenance nightmare. It's our biggest potential for backups and major problems. It keeps, like you've seen this weekend when we were out, it plugs, it loses suction. It's a horrible design. I don't know what we can do differently there. We've had Gorman and Rupp come out, look at it, inspect it, everything. Oh, it should be fine. It's self-priming. It isn't. It is, we constantly are over there messing with it. So to redo that site, I know we have them putting together numbers now of what that'll look like, and I better have them before my budget. So Gardner's working on doing some of the engineering, what we're going to need. We'll do the design on the building, the new submersible pumps. We're going to keep with Flight, kind of standardize our system anyway. We'll kind of have an idea of what that cost will be. So we'll look for that on this year's budget. We can get that project underway. I don't have anything else unless you guys have something for us. I think.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Thanks, John.
Yep.
Ed, do you have anything?
I think John covered everything. So.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mayor Vanderwood, do you want to give us an update of Central Weber?
We just, there's a lot always going on over there, but, it's pertinent to you guys here. I think one thing that we are seeing a lot of is a lot of the annexations that are coming over to Central Weber. So what that means is we've got tons of developments that are starting to go in through Weber County, unincorporated area like in the Taylor area. So Tuesday, tomorrow night, there's a big area that they're covering about 73 acres. And I know with Ed's said before, and I've talked to Weber County, but they don't have a district, but they have a sewer guy. They talk about the sewer guy all the time. And now they've got it on their list, on their listing on there for Weber County, where the areas are that are covered, but they have no trunk lines listed on the map. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
So I don't know where we're at, if we have issues like, for example, on the 3335 corner up here, 3300 south, 3500 west, on that 7 acres where they were going to build, it was easy for us to restrict that building because all these areas are not in West Haven. But we've since then done the resolution to stop those type of connections that are not in our city. So with that set up, that's great, but now we've got something coming below us that we're not sure is going to be covered or have good traffic studies on trying to get people up from there. But you add 390 homes, and it's just through the field north of Dale over there on 3300, and we don't have our road completed or even started yet on the 33 to 36. So there's all kinds of issues, but I just don't know what we're going to do about the sewer side of it. And it's not in our city, so we don't have to worry about it, but down the road, it's in our annexation declaration, and that's always concerning to me anyway, as we look at it, because if we end up accepting that eventually in the annexation, they accept all the impact fees, and unless we have a property tax, we benefit nothing from that. So, again, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll have to figure out some things as we get a little closer, but what we're going to do in our annexation area. But, you know, we probably need to start thinking about some plans for the future in there. If it's in our annexation, do we want to offer it? But we have to probably have it annexed into West Haven, obviously, prior to. So, I don't know. Maybe you can speak to it and help us.
I know that it's not, we passed that thing where they needed to be in the city. I think that's the way our had before anyway, but.
So it's always
What if
been-
it has, what if we have a local agreement, an interlocal agreement with them? Is that something was that still in there that way?
I think the way the resolution was written, they have to be in the city unless it's with an existing interlocal agreement that we have.
So they have to be an existing one.
Yeah.
Which is really
I
ideal.
think I would have to reread it and make sure.
Yeah, we need to look through that.
I think that's correct, and
But-
that's the way I remember it.
So nothing's ever changed with the boundaries. It's always been, you have to be a resident of West Haven in order to get the services, but we just reaffirmed it. So it's, nothing's changed. It's always been the same thing.
Only we used to do it, and now we're not.
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem, is we did set a slight precedence by
But
allowing
most of
some of them.
those, most of them are covered under interlocal agreements or contracts.
Right.
So it's yes and no. There's a few that I think snuck in there, but not as many as we originally had thought.
They just need to annex in.
Yeah, well, the problem is that, and again, this is, and I don't mind publicly stating the fact that Weber County is allowing, you know, asking these places that are asking for, developers are asking for single-family homes. In some areas, they're asking for townhomes to have multiple diversity of housing, which they think is in their plan, but it's not in their plan. This is a mixed-use unit, and they're set up right now for A1, or what they call A115, or R115, I think it is, if I remember right. So it's interesting to see where they stand with some of these things, but I think we're going to try and see if we can push back on that just a little bit to Weber County to say, you know, we're really not ready for a development like that. And I know we got probably a split decision, but when it comes to back to the central Weber, you know, those are things that they still have to annex in, but they have to have those trunk lines connected. So I don't know where Weber stands on those, but it is of interest of us to, as a city and as a district, to recognize what's going on in that annexation declaration area, which right now we're kind of looking at the area from covering down to 5500 West over to 12th Street to square up the city a little bit. That's a big area. That's actually almost another city.
Right.
That's really
So
big.
with the growth that's going on down there. So it's a big issue, but I just want to make you aware of some of the things that are going on in those meetings and the discussions. So thank you.
Are those meetings being discussed here or Weber County?
Weber County.
Weber County.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, move on to item 7, our consent agenda. We have items A through I. Any questions or comments on any of that? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda items A through I.
I'd second that motion.
Great, thanks. We have a motion and a second. We'll take her to a vote here. James?
Yes.
Dale?
Aye.
Curtis?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye.
Also vote aye. All right, item 8, adjournment.
Before we adjourn, can I ask one other thing?
Sure.
Is there a possibility on the agenda that we just put general discussions maybe on the agenda before we adjourn?
I know we used to have something like that when I was in planning commission and it was advised not to, but we can definitely put something under staff report that,
General discussion.
yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe I didn't word it right. Maybe there's another way to word it, but just to have, so we
Yeah.
can have some discussion.
Some discussion.
Yeah,
about some items that maybe aren't on the staff report or some things that are coming up, but I just thought I would recommend that. I didn't know if that was something the
Yeah.
board wanted to do,
Other items, yeah,
other items or something.
yeah.
I'll make a
With something
motion to,
creative.
I'll look and see what I'm doing, just, because if they're doing it, it's okay too.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Great, back to item 8. Dale, was that what you were?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, nice.
All right, we got a motion. Do we have a
I'll
second?
second that.
Okay, great. We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you. Sean, I apologize.